Thanks very much. Good to see everyone again. I am thrilled to welcome up to the stage Carlos Slim Helou. Carlos, join me. It is so good to see you again. Great to see you again. Carlos, all day we've been talking about revitalizing the global economy. We've been talking about getting trust and confidence back. You travel all the time. You are investing all around the world. Before we get into some of those issues and how you see it, tell us how you see the world. What's going on from an economic standpoint around the world right now? Where are the strong and weak parts of the world from your standpoint?
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much to New York Times and the New York Forum for his invitation. Well, I think there are two main issues. First, that we are still living the exuberance irrational from the 90s, the problem of 2001, that beginning 2000 with the big recession, and we are using the same medicine, aggressive monetary and fiscal policies. That's the only medicine we have done, and I think that's something that can help, but is not the solution of the crisis that we are living. I think the crisis of 2008 or 7 is the same one of 2001. The medicine was done in 2001. The interest rate fall down from 6.30 to 1%, a very relaxed and aggressive monetary policy, and a big fiscal deficit. And after the economy grow a little more, begin to grow, the policy follow, and that create the problem, excess of excesses, no? They go for invisible vehicles, financial vehicles. They move from some kind of speculation to gambling because leverage is so high. You don't need to give any guarantee. You can use, with 5 cents, you can make many things. And there are a lot of operations that are out of the accounting books of the financial institutions, and many times and very, very highly leveraged. By the other side, and I think it is the most important issue, is that we are living a new civilization. It's a new civilization of services. They can be called digital, knowledge. It's a technological advance that change all the things. And this new civilization of technology has new paradigms. And I think that the developed countries of the Western has not followed these paradigms. They are going already in a economy, they are deeply in the economy of services. They are buying a lot of goods, primary and secondary goods from emerging economies or developing economies, and they have not the money to do that. They are not using creating the income to pay this, and that's creating a big transference of wealth because of the big trade deficits and the big fiscal deficit and the big current account deficits. And that's why the developing countries, Asia and Latin America, are having these trade superavits with the developed countries and U.S.
So we have seen a move around the world where Asia is rising.
And Latin America also.
And Latin America, the East, and obviously I want to hear about Latin America and on the ground, and the West is declining. But you were looking for opportunities. I mean, as a global investor today, do you find that there will be further upset in these developing nations right now, or are you still looking for opportunities? I mean, months ago, you invested in Citigroup, you saw opportunities in the banking sector. So as far as an investment standpoint and the fundamentals that you look at, do you think things worsen in the West, or are you looking toward the East?
No, well, financial investments or small financial investments is one issue, and the other part is investing in our main world, that is telecommunications and other areas, no, financial and mining, etc. I think that when this policy that has many years with very low interest, let's say negative interest, to invest in productive projects is very interesting. When you have interest rates that are negative, it's a great invitation to invest in projects, to invest in infrastructure, to invest in some other assets, in real estate, in many things.
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
Yeah. The telecom industry obviously has grown so much, and Telmex has done really so well in exploiting the opportunity or capitalizing on the opportunity. How much more growth is there? Where are we in the growth story of telecom in Latin America and telecom throughout the world? I think the last time we spoke, you talked about the mobile industry overtaking in some ways the standard sort of landlines, and we've got 4 billion mobile phones in the world. Lay the ground for us in terms of where we are in that business.
Well, I think that telecommunications in general is like this nervous system of the new civilization. And I think there is a lot of area to grow. Mobility will also, we have 85% penetration in Latin America. It's a penetration the same that US. We have some countries with more penetration than US. And the average of Latin America is higher than Canada in penetration. But there is coming also the broadband in wireless. There is coming more use of data and video. And the broadband is still low the penetration. I think there is a lot of area to grow in broadband. And I think broadband will be wireline or wireless, very, very important for the new society of knowledge and learning. And we need to have digital education worldwide, not moving from alphabetization, that was the moving from agricultural society to industrial society, now from industrial society, from this technological society, is digital education.
So where are the new markets of growth in the telecom business, whether wireline or mobile?
Both. To the customer doesn't matter the platforms. You use multi-platforms, all the platforms that be fiber, cable, copper, wireless, satellite, any way. But what they need is to have the services, the high penetration, good quality, very fast, high speed, and low cost. And as much as the markets grow and the suppliers are more efficient and technology advanced, you make it a universal service. That means that it will be available for everyone, not far from today, like it is now mobile.
Are there other industries out there that show that kind of growth that you're expecting? Where else are the growth areas in the world?
I think there are many. Well, first, as much as hundreds of millions, let's move from poverty, from autoconsumption to the new society. They are demanding goods, and that means primary production is very important. We're talking about mining, and other commodities, food, oil, energy, many commodities. I think also that with the problem of warming and that we're living, all the environment care will be a big industry that will be very important. Also, I think that medicine is moving high because with health universal service, you cannot pay what are you paying. You need to go to genomics and other research to find solutions that can be feasible to apply to everyone for expensive medicine like cancer and other kind of. That's what I was telling when I say that this is an opportunity in this crisis, let's say for US, to make structural changes. That means that they need to move the age of retirement because it cannot be paid. Now people go to work at 25 or something years. Not like in the industrial society, they begin to work at 16 or 18 years. Or in the agricultural society, people work at 8 years. Now, retirement should be at least 70.
Yeah.
And health services should be changed by cost and by research. And US, like it's a service society, need to find which kind of industrial production should be done because of strategic reasons, inter-industrial relations, or because high aggregate value, because they cannot pay eternally with a trade deficit buying things from outside and changing it for assets.
You mentioned a couple of things, and I want to get your take on the G20 coming up this weekend and what policymakers should be thinking about. But let me first ask you about what you just said. It's funny that you say the retirement age. We were talking about that earlier in one of the panels, that the retirement age in Europe, I guess, is 59.
Crazy.
Yeah, and someone said to me at the Stanford Longevity Center, you know, Maria, we talk about the fact that we're living longer as if it's a crisis. Hello? We're living longer. We should be enabling longer, more vibrant lives. So that's obviously an area of growth. The mining business.
I should be retired 15 years ago.
Exactly. And you're still going. Are you ever going to retire?
A little 20 or 25 years more.
The mining business. The mining sector has been so hot and sort of in the spotlight now for a lot of years, and many people attribute the enormous amount of demand coming out of China and certainly other emerging economies. What turns that story around?
It's what I was telling before. Malthus has a mistake like the Club of Rome, because they were talking about population. And there are millions, still billions of people, not billions, but a lot of hundreds, living by autoconsumption. And when you are in the autoconsumption, you don't look for other products. As much, let's say, China, India, Mexico, Brazil, all the world, especially the developing countries, each year a lot of people is coming to the new society and is asking and moving from rural areas and agricultural societies from the rural areas to urban areas. And that not only China, everyone. There is demanding steel, they are demanding grains, they are demanding other kind of, they are not living of autoconsumption. Now this Confucian saying that don't give the fish, teach them to fish, that is autoconsumption. You need to teach them to marketing the fish.
We're going to bring the rest of the panel up in a moment, but before I do, your thoughts on the G20 meeting. What should policymakers be thinking about as they gather this weekend in Toronto?
This is what I was telling. They need to take out only of monetary and fiscal policy. And they need to look what is happening, what is the new society, and make structural changes in this crisis, moving ahead in all the things that should be done. And well, for the developed countries that are changing, like US, that is changing goods for consumption, for assets. Okay, the assets can be treasury or the next day will be stocks and there will be other things, no companies or whatever. And they need to make the structural changes. If not, but things will be worse for the developed countries. And developing countries, I am very happy, not only from Asia, but also Latin America, that we have a healthy economy, the healthy macroeconomic variables. We are not with deficit, we are with the fiscal balance and with the trade superavit. The terms of interchange that was losing the primary against the secondary, now the primary products is winning in terms of the past, and that will be good for all our countries in development.
And of course, not to mention the rich resources of the nation that you're talking about as the demand for commodities rises. Well, let's find out if one of those ministers agrees with your take on the G20.